back at it again, and we've got another one from Caitlin Bennett and Liberty Hangout. We're in for one with this one. Let's dive in.
I feel like most of the times whenever women have abortions, it's whenever they're in an unstable situation to raise.
Most of the time they get abortions, it's because they don't want it.
Sure, like if they don't want it, that means they're probably in a situation where they can't afford it. Nope. Or they're not in a stable.
They don't list financial reasons out of it. It's because they just don't want it.
Okay, well, I mean, still, like, if they don't want to care for the child, that means the child will still grow up in an unloved environment, which would be bad for them anyways.
Worse than death?
I would say, like, from, like, things...
That's an interesting question right there. What he about to say some BS stuff.
But I've read, living in poverty is worse than dying. I mean, I'm pro...
Being poor in America is worse than death? Like, that is just absolutely insane. America, land of the free, home of the brave, where you have every opportunity to climb up the financial ladder, so to speak. Well, maybe not so much in this economy currently, because we know what's going on, okay? We'll save that for another video on another day. But on average, typically, in a normal situation, you have a tremendous opportunity to climb out of your financial situation. So in America, being in poverty is worse than death. Yeah, the America where the poorest in America are richer than just about everyone in the world. Makes sense. Okay, yeah, all right. I'm picking up what he's putting down. Psych.
Boys, I'm kind of...
Well, you can be pro-choice and still acknowledge that it's death.
I mean, yeah, it's death, but like...
So what, right? I mean, equality, right? Like, who cares if Planned Parenthood is killing babies? Who cares? Equality, right?
I mean, it's not like it's... I don't know. I feel like just like the fundamentals of abortion are outweigh... I don't know.
Caitlin got some fantastic hair. I know that's totally random. Has nothing to do with the video. But I was just looking at... over at Caitlin, and I was like, holy, you know, hey, somebody call up Caitlin and tell her I need some locks. I mean, I know it may not match, but, you know, we got some dye that, you know, could probably work. But, you know, I'm losing mine. It looks like she has plenty to spare. So, you know, hit her up and tell her Doc Rich needs something.
Outweigh what?
I feel like just like the negative aspect of like forcing a woman to like raise a child that she doesn't want probably outweighs... I don't know. I just don't really feel like it affects anyone else. So I feel like the long-term aspect...
It does affect somebody else because someone else's life is ending.
Right, but I feel like the long-term effects of having the choice of like having a baby or not outweighs like the short-term aspect of like killing a fetus. So
you do admit that it's killing.
Sure, but I feel like it's really important. I think it's more important to have I think it's more important to have abortions legal because of the fact, if abortions aren't legal, then like they're still going to occur. So I feel like it's important to even if I don't agree with abortion on like a moral level, it's important to keep it legal because it'll still happen.
It'll still happen. Like murder will still happen in this country. So why make it illegal, right?
Well, I feel like if it's illegal, it'll just happen in unsafe ways that'll cause.
Well, yeah, murder. I mean, it is illegal to go stab someone, but by God, that happens a lot more often than people are shot to death. So why make stabbings illegal? Right? They're just gonna do it anyway. We should have a safe way.
You know what? Let's just make The Purge legal. All right? I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of the movies The Purge, where like for one day out of the year, any type of killing is legal. You can go after anybody you want to, except for I think I think actually you can go after government officials in The Purge. Somebody let me know. It's been a while, but I used to be really into those movies. I know I'm weird, but yeah. So let's just make The Purge a thing, right? Every I don't know. We'll say July 15th, just a random day. I don't know. The Purge will commence for 24 hours. You can go after anybody you want. I'm joking, of course. It's a horrible idea.
To stab someone else, right?
Well, no, I feel like especially
Why not? Why not, though? So if we should make abortion, which you admit is killing, legal,
right?
Because if we don't, then people will do it anyway. Why can't we just make me stabbing you right now and killing you legal because
Right,
I might do it anyway?
So the majority of abortions, I feel like especially late-term abortions are especially important just because, like, they occur because whenever they're at, like, late-term abortions are important because it occurs whenever the mother's health is in danger.
No, it doesn't.
So, what do you mean?
No, it doesn't. There is no instance where a late-term termination of a pregnancy has to happen to save the mother's life. Late term would mean after 21 weeks, and that is a point of viability. They can do a C-section, remove the baby, and save the mother. You know what late-term abortion does?
Right.
They explain a process of a late-term abortion to me.
Yeah, so it's late-term abortions happen. It's not really it's not really the fact that, like, the mother's like, oops, I forgot to get an abortion, sorry, like, scratch my head.
Sometimes that happens.
All the articles I've read just point to the fact that, like, late-term abortion.
Well, tell me how it happens. What's the process? What's the procedure? What's step one in a late-term?
Don't they like just suck it out? Which just sounds horrible and disgusting. Yeah. But isn't that what they do? Do they like give women something to dilate their uterus? Let me know. Or do they just, we're going to yank it out regardless, and whatever we tear up is what we tear up? Let me know in the comment section, please.
Abortion.
Step one. I'm not really sure, like, what actually occurs, but...
So you're going to put the woman into labor. She is going to go into labor. She's going to give birth, but the baby will be dead. That's what a late-term abortion is. Why can't we just do a C-section, save the baby, and save the mother? No one's life.
So, wait a minute. Well, what? At that point, like, that doesn't even make sense. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know, all women's problems and issues or nothing like that. But if the whole process is exactly the same, then why kill it in the first place? I mean, you're going to have to go through, the birthing process, right? They somehow get your body to go into labor, right? Is what Caitlin is telling me. I honestly don't have a clue. I really don't. But they get your body to go into labor, and you have the kid, except when you have it, it's passed away already somehow, which I'm assuming they give you some type of shot that does it or something. I don't know. But if that's the case, I'm just really confused at even why anybody would want to do that. Are there any medical conditions that would, obviously not late term, because like she just said, you could have a C-section and take it out and, the mother's good. Unless there's something where, hey, if you have a C-section, the mother could pass away. If any, ladies, this y'all specialty. So let a brother know, all right? Let a brother know. Is there any circumstance where a late-term pregnancy could be very, very dangerous without an abortion? Let me know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head because you could just have a C-section unless, like I said, there's a danger with the C-section because of some other medical condition. I don't know. Talk to me, please. It's not making a whole lot of sense to me.
Has to end.
That's interesting. I feel like just the possible outcomes of having the baby anyways still outweigh. Like, the foster system's really not good, and like the adoption system is pretty poor.
So are you willing to look in the camera right now and tell all of the adopted viewers that they should have been aborted because their life could have been worse?
I'm not gonna say that, but I feel like...
And how can you equate the two? It's worse to go into a foster care system than to die.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, it's...
Just trying to make sure
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, I just feel like whenever, like, a mother doesn't want to have a child, like, there's no need to, or, like, put them up for adoption either. I feel like it's just, like, really unethical to force someone to give birth to a baby, because, like, labor is a
no
really
one's
hard thing.
forcing anybody to give birth.
Right.
Yeah. That mother made a decision to get her cheeks clapped. When you getting your cheeks clapped, there's a possibility that, something may come 9 months later. I'm just saying. If the person you getting your cheeks clapped by isn't wearing the Jimmy, isn't wearing the cap or the crown, whatever you want to call it, come on now. Some of us might have been born that night, but I'm sure it wasn't last night, okay? But also, there's birth control, multiple forms of birth control as far as I'm aware of, right? So there's that, plus the Jimmy, cap, crown, condom, whatever you want to call it. So hey, safe sex is great sex. So you better wear that latex, because you don't want that latex, that I think I'm late text. You get it? Good.
But like
No one's
labor is,
forcing that.
What do you mean?
Where do you see that people are forcing people to give
Well,
birth?
I mean, like going through labor is like a really, really difficult and painful thing to do.
What do you think abortion
sure
is?
it is.
Right. So I mean, like, but like the same thing. Like, if you're not going to have the child anyways, there's no point of going through like the painful and long process of giving labor. So.
How could we change your mind? Because you admit that abortion is killing. What would it take to change your mind and say killing is wrong? Do you think killing is wrong?
I mean, yeah.
Then why are you making an exception for the tiniest humans on this earth? They're innocent, they've done nothing wrong, their circumstances don't matter to their humanity. Someone who was conceived in rape or just unwanted or wanted, their humanity is still there. They didn't choose any of those situations in which they were conceived. They're innocent. They're the most precious people that we have on this earth.
I guess. Yeah.
You would admit that.
Oh,
I mean, I'm making an exception just because of like the possible
never mind. I thought he was changing his mind.
outcomes that have been like empirically proven to happen afterwards.
Possible outcomes. If you were driving and you saw something that looked like a human in the road, would you slam on your brakes to prevent from hitting it?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
So, the possible outcome, you avoided possibly killing a person. You don't know. You don't know if it was a person, but you prevented yourself from going through and causing this, not knowing the reality of if that was a human. Why can't we do that and apply
Even
it?
if it was still an animal, I would still stop.
So why would you stop and not kill an animal, but you're okay with women killing their babies? Because I'm using your words. You admit
Sure.
that it's killing.
Sure.
Why is there an exception for the most innocent people on this earth?
Ooh.
I feel like there's just an exception because like whenever like it's me or anyone like physically doing the act of killing something that's already alive and already like experiencing like its environmental surroundings,
A fetus already is alive.
I just feel like that's a lot different than a little quick like painless process of
Babies feel pain. They have nerve endings. That's one of the first things that develop is their nerve endings.
Okay, but I mean I feel like once again it's just the possible outcomes that I mean all the
What if the
studies I've
possible
read is-
there's a possible outcome that they're gonna live to cure cancer, they're gonna live to be the next president and make the world a great place, implement world peace. They're gonna sit there and
You know, this goes back to I don't remember who exactly I heard say it, but they said the richest place is the graveyard, because there you'll find, you know, a bunch of these different ideas that never came to life, and you know that baby could have possibly been the answer to a cure to I don't know, cancer. And I know that's always like the line, but still it's true. It's true. I mean, there probably already is a cure to it, but you get what I mean. Like, we don't know the possibilities of what that child could have done or could have become. We don't know what was in that mind. We do know one thing. We'll never find out.
do something that would make it to where nobody ever had to be killed on this earth. That's a possible outcome. What about that outcome?
Well, I feel like it's also like hard to get to that point if that was, like you said, like they could cure cancer, because I feel like most of the times whenever women have abortions, it's whenever they're in an unstable situation to raise.
Most of the time they get abortions, it's because they don't want it.
Sure, but like if they don't want it, that means they're probably in a situation where they can't afford it, or they're not in a stable.
They don't list financial reasons out of it. It's because they just don't want it.
Okay, well, I mean, still, like if they don't want.
Is that true? Most of the time, people get abortions just simply because they don't want it. There's not like a financial situation. There's not, some type of health problems. The baby's father disappeared. You know what I mean? Like, is it just because don't want it? Is that a true statistic? Let me know in the comment section, please. That is wild.
Want to care for the child, that means the child will still grow up in an unloved environment, which would be bad for them anyways.
Worse than death?
I would say, like from like things that I've read, living in poverty is worse than dying.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much. I do
Thanks.
appreciate that.
Thanks.
It's an awkward shirt you have on for this conversation. Thank you so much.
way that she ended that's quite an awkward shirt you have on there to have this conversation, because it said equality. And that's been one of the recurring things for me on this journey, is the whole equality word means absolutely nothing. Equality means superiority. Equality means exception, right? Equality means I do what I want. Equality doesn't actually mean what the technical definition of equality should mean, right? It's something totally different. It's just used to make it all sound good. And it's total BS. We know it. We see through it. I've caught on to that as well, because it's been just a recurring thing, you know? Equality, equality, equality. And every opportunity these people have on the left to show true equality, I never see it. Ever. Have yet to see true equality. But that's what they preach all the time. Equality, equality, equality. All right, well, show me. Nope. That's superiority. Nope. That's you doing what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, that's not equality. If a white person said what you just said, it'd be World War III. You know what I mean? It's total BS and completely bogus. But yeah, shout out to Caitlin Bennett for always exposing the frauds amongst us. Sheesh Louise. Y'all let me know what you thought about this crazy one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.